everyone. I'm Allison Steinberg, and welcome to In Focus. It's safe to say Joseph Robinette Biden's recent trip to Maui was met with much discontent from local residents. And for many good reasons, of course. One big one being the out-of-touch administration spent millions just to get Biden and his entourage onto the island, while families who lost their home received checks for a measly $700. Yet another reminder of the growing gap between the power elite and hardworking citizens, constantly in an uphill battle. Growing frustration across the nation is completely justified as we are being governed by entities who are completely disconnected with daily life. This was exemplified while Biden was giving a speech in Maui. He just couldn't help but bring the attention back to him. He even had the audacity to compare almost losing his classic Corvette in a fire in 2004, which, mind you, was contained in 20 minutes, to the tragic fires which have already taken the lives of over 100 people, with 1,000 people still reportedly missing. Yeah, sorry, Joe, not even close. However, it is kind of interesting. Joe would even bring up his 1967 Corvette Stingray, as the Free Beacon points out. This car implicates Joe Biden in the shady foreign business dealings of his crackhead son, Hunter Biden. Among the documents recovered from Hunter Biden's laptop are several photos of Hunter driving his father's vintage Corvette near the family home in Delaware, where Joe Biden stored boxes of classified documents. So I suppose we shouldn't be too shocked, as this is ultimately what criminals do, right? They brag and they think no one will catch on. But then again, at this point, I have to question, is Biden even really thinking at all? Joining us now, the man representing Georgia's 1st District, Congressman Buddy Carter. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, Congressman, what are your thoughts on Biden being just so disingenuous when addressing the people of Maui, and then even going so far as to comparing everything they just went through to a house fire that he had and bringing his Corvette into the situation? I mean, isn't this just out of touch and downright insulting to these people?
Well, first of all, our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Maui. What they are experiencing is awful. I had the opportunity to travel to Maui many years ago, and interestingly enough, there was a wildfire when I was there on vacation. But it's just awful what has happened there, and our thoughts and prayers are certainly with them. But listen, this president is obviously tone deaf. I mean, I'm glad he made it out there, albeit a number of days after he should have been there. He should have been there a lot sooner than he was. But I am glad he made it. But, you know, the empathy that he tried to show and that he ended up showing was just awful. I mean, he is obviously tone deaf. He's obviously out of touch. And to compare it to a small kitchen fire that was, as you say, contained within 20 minutes, I mean that's just unexcusable. This president is an embarrassment. He's an international embarrassment, and it's a shame that the people of Maui, and then to offer them $700. I mean, you know, think about it. I mean, his inflation policies, his policies that have led to inflation, are costing $709 a day, and he's offering them $700, whereas they spent millions of dollars to get he and his entourage over there. This is ridiculous. What an embarrassment.
It truly is such an embarrassment. It's so sad that these people are suffering, and he's just making a complete fool of himself once again. And then this one-time payment of $700 to the residents who virtually lost everything. I mean, especially after, not to mention the fact that he just sent another requested another $24 billion to Ukraine for aid. I mean, it just doesn't stop. And as you said, the current financial situation our country is in, I mean, do you think we can expect any more funds or assistance for the people of Maui who are truly suffering during this time? Is there anything more we could or should be doing to help them?
Well, I think that Congress will address this, and we want to do everything we can. As a member of Congress, I commit that I'll do everything I can to help the people of Maui. They deserve it. And what a great point to compare it to the money that's being spent in Ukraine. Look, we want to support Ukraine. There's no question about that, and it's important that we do. However, we have to pay attention to what's going on here. I mean, after the debacle that this administration, the way that they handled the train wreck in East Palestine, and now this on top of it, that's what's got people so upset. They want to know, why are we sending billions of dollars to Ukraine when we're not even taking care of our own people here? That's what upsets them so much. And this president does no justice whatsoever to try and articulate what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, it is just extremely upsetting to feel like America is put last time and time again. And I think the American people are truly fed up. We've seen it happen, as you mentioned, with East Palestine and now this. It's just one thing after another. So I just pray we can turn this nightmare around. Congressman, I also wanted to get your thoughts on the just overwhelming number of children who are still missing in Maui. I actually have a clip from an independent journalist who's boots on the ground there, Nick Sorter, demanding answers from Maui Mayor Richard Bisson. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and then we'll come right back to you.
How many of the 110 dead are children? You know who are children. They're cadavers. You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead?
Step back, please.
How many children are dead, Mayor? So you're just not going to tell.
I don't know. I wish
yes,
I knew
you do. How many children are missing? You know.
If I knew the answer to that, I would be happy to answer that.
You have no estimate as to how many children are missing?
I guess
Nothing?
we can end this right now if you guys want. Sorry,
This is one of the biggest questions that the people of Lahaina have, but you don't want to answer it.
It always takes one or two to ruin it for everybody.
Really incredible to see that. Why do you think Mayor Bisson is so reluctant to address the missing children? And better yet, why isn't the mainstream media just pressing him on this? Where are the answers that we all need and deserve right now?
Well, those are good questions, and God bless those parents who are missing the children. I mean, it's one thing to know that what has happened to them. It's another thing to not know and to have them missing like this. And they deserve better. They deserve better as Americans. This should not be happening in our country. They should be held accountable. And they should know as soon as possible, the parents should know as soon as possible what has happened to these children. This is inexcusable and should not happen here in America.
It certainly shouldn't. The residents and the families of those missing truly do deserve answers. And it's just so devastating to me that so few of our elected officials seem to even really care. All right, Congressman, let's switch gears a bit here. The first Republican primary debate is kicking off tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll certainly be interesting to see what comes of this. As we all know, our country is in desperate need of new leadership. Of course, all of the 8 GOP presidential hopefuls will be in attendance. However, President Trump announced that he will not be present for the debate tonight. I just wanted to get your thoughts. He's supposed to appear with Tucker, at the same time the GOP candidates are debating on stage. What do you expect happening tonight? Any predictions, any ideas as to which one might get more views?
Well, first of all, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing all 8 candidates who are going to be on stage and to hearing what they have to say. Look, any of these candidates, and especially former President Trump, would do a better job than Joe Biden's doing. I mean, I don't think any of them would embarrass us internationally like he's embarrassing us. And I certainly think they would handle the situation in Maui much better than the way he has handled it. But I do look forward to tonight. I think you're going to find a spirited debate, and I think issues going to be brought up that need to be brought up and talked about. People are concerned. They're concerned about about the economy. Bidenomics in South Georgia is a 4-letter word, and it's not a nice word at all.
It certainly is not. And yes, as you mentioned, there are some big key issues that will definitely be discussed tonight. It'll be exciting to hear what each individual has to say regarding each of those. I'm just a little concerned about the outcome of the next election, obviously, moving forward. We know what happened in 2020. It just makes me a little bit hesitant, a little fearful of what might come in the future. Again, we know the COVID hysteria is ramping back up, so that may potentially interfere. What are your thoughts moving forward? Do you think we can ever really have another free and fair election, given everything that we've endured in the last few years?
Well, I think we can, and I think Americans will demand it, and we will have a free and fair election. Look, it's about policy. That's what people don't understand or don't seem to understand. Elections have consequences, and the reason elections have consequences is because policies have consequences. That's why I'm looking forward to tonight, a discussion about policies, because the policies of the Republican Party are superior, are much better than the policies of the Democratic Party. And that's what people need to understand.
Yes, there is certainly no question about that, and I just pray that is becoming more apparent to people as we go through. I don't know how much longer we can sustain this current situation under Joe Biden. It's just really watching our country slowly destruct. So hopefully it's allowing for people to wake up and get to the right side of history. Congressman Buddy Carter, we're all out of time for today, but thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'd like to welcome you to our new home for uncensored news and hard-hitting talk shows. If you're tired of cable companies and social media giants chipping away at your most basic and important right, freedom of speech, by shadow banning, demonetizing, censoring, and policing every single one of your posts, then One America News on Locals is just what you've been looking for. Finally, you'll have the freedom to express your point of view and stay connected with like-minded fellow patriots. And the best part is, OAN on Locals is only $5 a month. All of our credible, honest, unbiased reporting, ad-free talk shows, and exclusive content, all at the fraction of the cost of cable. So to watch, just click the join button to get the news you can't get anywhere else.